4. He got watched by 0.09 of a second. Harrison Cumbie, a great drag race with Dan Watts. That was a battle. And Cumbie goes to the final round of face-off against Anthony Hurd. And now we move in to the JLT Performance 23rd Annual Muscle Mustang Spring Break Shootout category. Cal Hayward and Jason Wagoner are coming up right now. Cal Hayward, got to be the odds-on favorite here. It's the big speed, the big horsepower, the big performance machine. Hayward is fully staged. Wagoner, the number 9 qualifier in this thing. Hayward, the number 1 qualifier. And Hayward going to get down there and actually lift and coast his way to an 8 flat at 133. That thing is a monster. Wagoner goes 878.2 at 153.32. So the stick shift shootout completed. The spring break shootout in full swing. Roger Feldner and Jeff Bloom coming up. Bloom, the 88LX, the number 2 qualifier, and Roger Feldner, the number 10 qualifier. 8:32 best run for Bloom. Feldner's been a best of 8:908. Sounds like a big spread, but look at them. They're both on a small tire. 0.6 of a second could evaporate in the blink of an eye if somebody has to pedal their race car. Somebody goes into a wheelie. Somebody breaks traction. This thing could come down to the wire like we've seen happen already in the Tremex stick shift shootout. Both cars pre-staged. Feldner, a guy who has wrestled this car up to the center line and back last night. Jeff Bloom. Both cars fully staged. Reaction time. Favors Bloom. Bloom puts the nose up a little bit. He's got that thing fattened way up. Bloom to the 8th mile at 141, and he's driving away from him. 7.904, 168.84. Jeff Bloom goes to the round of 8 as Feldner just gets outrun. 8.404 as Bloom goes right down into the 7s, runs a 7.90. And all of a sudden, Cal Hayward's going to be paying attention there. Larry Albright going to take on the Kermit Green Mustang on the Nelson competition side. We need Edelbrock Renegade, VP Racing Fuel, Street Outlaw, and Edelbrock Renegade to the lanes, please. VP Racing Fuel, Street Outlaw, and Renegade Edelbrock to the lanes, please. Larry Albright, a car that on paper is vastly, and I mean vastly quicker than the Green Mustang on the left side. Pre-stage, fully staged, both sides. Albright was very cautious early in that run, did not want to spin the tire. He's 140 to 60 feet, and Albright lifts and coasts down. 841.3, 164. You saw the nose fall as he got down to about 1,000 feet. 1028.4, 140 on the Nelson competition side. Here is the man himself, Tony Whetstone. Has competed in every single 23 of them in all Muscle Mustang Fast Forward JLT Performance Spring Break Shootouts. Whetstone in the convertible. Anthony Mallard from Spring Lake spinning the tire and going red, missing the tree completely, so Tony Whetstone will drive down basically unopposed on the Budweiser side. 847.4, 166. Whetstone goes to the next round. Ballard is retired. VP Racing Fuel, Street Outlaw, and Edelbrock Renegade. VP Racing Fuel, Street Outlaw, and Edelbrock Renegade to the lanes, please. We need you in there now. Bill Lugin and Adam Ruffel coming up. Lugin, the white 93 Mustang, the 450-inch nitrous combination, and Ruffel, the turbocharged car on the Budweiser side. Again, we talk about, you can look at this class as this little kind of microcosm about what's popular, what's hot in the world of Ford drag racing today. What do we see? We see a domination of turbo cars, some centrifugals, and a couple of nitrous cars. That's not to say nitrous is going away anytime soon, but the current trend in the world definitely seems to be going towards the fourth induction side of things, with a lot, and I mean a lot, of turbo cars making up this 16-car field. Lugin trying to hang one out here for the nitrous crowd. Reaction times are in the same ballpark, and Lugin is going to hang on Adam Ruffel's bumper past the 8th mile. Lugin's trying to make a move at the top end, just couldn't get him. 847.4, 160. Lugin goes 864.3, 134.52. Randy Thomas, who did some adventurous driving this week to avoid Brian DeVilbiss earlier in the weekend when DeVilbiss started spinning donuts in the center of the racetrack. And Salvador Roca. Roca unable to get a good burnout there. The crew going to put him back in the water real quick. And this is where things could get a little weird. You get thrown off your game. You come up here with a plan. Things don't go according to plan in the burnout. Randy Thomas being held at the starting line by Big Jake. And I'm going to tell you what, TJ Bailey has gotten a little bit agitated down there. He has made the move to Roca to hurry up the process here. Roca seems to be continuing to move at his own pace, and there's going to be at some point, you see TJ pointing to his wrist. He is on the clock right now, and if Roca does not get this car burned out in stage in an amount of time, Randy Thomas will be down at a comp single, and things will get real interesting down there. Salvador Roca completing the burnout, and now he is going to be put on an expedited staging process. You can see TJ going moving. Miniature Buster Couch action happening down there in the starting line. Slightly more tan, about a foot shorter. No perm. That's our... Okay, 2 feet shorter. And no white pants. Randy Thomas and Salvador Roca all staged up. Roca the slower of the 2 cars on paper. The slower of the 2 cars to leave the starting line. And Randy Thomas begins to apply the power. And his 2010 GT500 gets the job done. 869.9, 160. Roca goes 917.3 at 152. And here comes Mike Javanis, the number 3 qualifier at 8:33. Larry Albright has got 8:65. So again, another situation here. If anything happens to Javanis' car, 0.3 of a second can evaporate in a second's time. You notice that Albright just double bowled him over there. So Javanis is in, bumping forward. He's staged. Albright's car turning the tire a little bit. Javanis just simply going to out-muscle him on the back half of the race course. 8:06.6, 171 for Javanis. Albright goes 8:903 at 154.37. Grant Juice and Denise Segura coming up right now. And so now we come up with Grant Juice and Denise Segura coming up right now. The number 8 and 16 qualifiers. Denise Segura, just the car did not react, did not come off the starting line, and it's going to be Grant Juice, who was the favorite car anyway, but now by an extended margin, 874.6, 153. Segura goes 914.4 at 149.80. And that was the final pair of the first round of the JLT Performance 23rd Annual Muscle Mustang Spring Break Shootout Class. Great racing. We've weeded the field down to 8, and we'll have it back here in just a little while. So here we go, round 2 of the awesome Spring Break Shootout. JLT Performance sponsoring the Muscle Mustang and Fast Ford Spring Break Shootout. The 23rd time we've done this. Cal Hayward and Adam Ruffel coming up. Cal Hayward swinging the big hammer this weekend. Number 1 qualifier. A car that's been living in the 70s. He's pedaling the thing that's going 70s. Rather, it's going 7s. He is a kind of tough hombre out there. Adam Ruffel. Only thing Ruffel can do is make the cleanest run possible and see if he can capitalize on a potential mistake by Hayward. Well, Adam Ruffel did exactly what he could do. A big tree job on Hayward. Hayward just going to drive past him and put on the brakes at the top end. 771.8, 143. 770s with the brakes on. Ruffel goes 843.3 at 162. A great run for what that car is capable of. He just ran into a buzzsaw out there, so Cal Hayward moves on. Mike Javanis. If Javanis were to win this against Tony Whetstone, he would face Cal Hayward next round. That's a matchup everybody wants to see. Wow. Whetstone goes a second quicker off the starting line than Javanis. Javanis is not going to have enough drag strip, it looks like. Top end, it's going to be Whetstone. 873 beats an 802. And Tony Whetstone, the guy who has raced at every single one of these things, will race in another round in 2017 here at Bradenton Motorsports Park. He will face off against Cal Hayward next round. And Javanis, I mean, the car just didn't leave. Javanis certainly had some cushion to work with there, but he did not have that much. Randy Thomas and Jeff Bloom coming up. Bloom has been down in the high 7s. His last pass, in fact, was in the 7s. He is a member of the Canadian population down here in Florida. And Randy Thomas is pre-staged. Jeff Bloom. Better reaction time by 2/10 and just a whole bunch more power than Randy Thomas can throw at him. 845.2 and only 126 miles an hour as Thomas goes 873.7 at 158. So Bloom will race the winner of this pair. Coming in right now, the nitrous-injected car of Mr. Grant Geis, or Juice rather. Larry Albright on the Jensen Beach side of things. This is a good matchup. Good matchup. Two cars that ran within a couple of tenths of each other recently. So Grant Juice, Larry Albright. Albright pre-stage, fully staged. Juice jumps in there. Look at Juice with the wheel stand, having to pedal it. Oh, that could be the end of him. The car came up in the air. Larry Albright sneaks by, and at the top end, it's Albright. 838, 169. Albright is going to the semifinal round. As Grant Juice, the car climbed up on the ring gear. He had no choice but to pedal it, and he gets outrun by Larry Albright by 0.3 of a second. Ford Muscle on the starting line. We have called Roush Superstang to the lanes. Roush Superstang, you should be in. We have called Exity Modular Muscle. You should be in the lanes as well. So 8 cars remaining here in the Modular Muscle category. Or rather, I'm sorry, in the Ford Muscle category. Al Mosteller and Mike Roop making up this first pair. And the win light will shine for Mike Roop. 1366 on a 1350 index. 006 reaction time for Roop. Mosteller broke out by 200ths at the stripe. It is now the semifinal round of the JLT Performance Spring Break Shootout. Cal Hayward and Tony Whetstone going to mix it up right now. So Cal Hayward, #1 qualifier, Tony Whetstone. Perhaps an emotional favorite for those of you that have been doing this for a while down at the Spring Break Shootout. He's been to all of them. He's been in all of them. Cal Hayward having to pedal the race car, and Tony Whetstone going to give him a chase, but it's over with at the 8th mile. Cal Hayward motors away 787.4, 139.16 as Tony Whetstone goes 888.3, 161 in the losing effort. So Cal Hayward advances to the final round. So Jeff Bloom and Larry Albright. So Bloom and Albright. So Bloom goes in. The 7-second, Fox in the low 8-second car. Bloom drives out of that wheel stand, and it looks like it's going to be Jeff Bloom and Cal Hayward in the final round. Oh, Bloom seems to be out of the power. He's going to pedal it one last time. 831.4 at 154 as Albright goes 844.2 at 168. Jeff Bloom and Cal Hayward in the final round of the JLT Performance Spring Break Shootout. And a red light came on. Cal Hayward and Jeff Bloom coming up. This is the final of the JLT Performance Spring Break Shootout category for all the marbles. 800 cash, the 6-foot-tall trophy, but more important than that, you can say you've won a race that has more than 2 decades of legacy here in NMRA competition. Dowling, Michigan, or Ontario, Canada. Hayward's the Michigander. Bloom's a Canadian. Hayward looks unstoppable, but Jeff Blooms would like to argue that point, and he will right now on the Budweiser side of the racetrack. 2 cars that have been in the 7s. 2 cars that are sitting still. 2 cars that are not moving into the fully staged position. Turbocharged combinations on both sides. Cal Hayward says enough's enough, and he goes all the way in. Jeff Bloom violently bumps the car in, tickling the bottom bow. Tree flashes on both sides. Huge advantage on the starting line for Jeff Bloom. But here comes Cal Hayward like a rocket-powered freight train. Hayward goes 7:32.3 at 191 miles an hour. Cal Hayward has won the 2017 JLT Performance 23rd Annual Muscle Mustang Spring Break Shootout category, and done so in convincing fashion. Jeff Bloom has nothing to be ashamed about there, but nothing was going to stop Cal Hayward. Wow, very impressive way to finish it out for Hayward.